only.
This is the only podcast that matters.
And it is. Because what other podcasts do you get?
The history of punk.
Proto-punk.
Goth.
New wave. Anything we like. Today we're doing a story time. Little mini episode where we just share like funny little stories about punk.
Yeah. So like start a fire, get cozy.
Yeah.
Get a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Put on your studded jacket.
Have someone tuck you in.
Yeah, well, like with your little studded jacket.
I need you to wear a studded belt to listen to this episode.
Yeah.
That's going to come in important later. Just put a pin in that. Like, go put your studded belt on.
We'll give you a second. Okay, welcome back.
If they have to dig through their closet because it's been a while.
They can pause it.
Okay, that's right. You can pause it. All right, so today I have a story that I think is quite funny. This is worth just hearing me out till the end.
Okay, I'm here for it.
There's some payoff at the end because
Okay.
it's gonna surprise you.
Okay.
So
I'm excited. I actually don't know the end.
Yeah, it's very funny. So this is the story about a fight in a part of Mexico City between punks and emos in 2008.
2008.
Yeah. So for some, all right, we're filming from Providence.
Yeah.
Mexico City is 726 times bigger than the entire state of Rhode Island.
I can't believe you have that fact in your back
Yeah. I knew that because I have family in Mexico City, and growing up, I was like, Mexico City. I went to Mexico City. It's 726
times bigger than Rhode Island.
Yeah, so I looked it up. It's like a million times bigger than Providence.
I didn't realize it was that big.
It's huge. It's a huge city.
Is it bigger than New York?
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
And it's densely populated.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of subcultures. There's so many different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's 700 times bigger than Providence and more than Rhode Island and more densely populated.
Right.
So there's a lot going on.
And we're the most densely populated state in the country, so they're not fucking around.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have as much ocean as we do, though. So.
They have zero ocean. They have lake.
Pretty lame.
Don't they have lake?
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, not the same as ocean.
No. Chicago, nice try. Okay, so in 2008, there's a lot of I say all this to say there's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of subcultures.
Yeah.
There is a surprisingly big punk subculture, and I think even more surprisingly to me, there's a big emo
but like
subculture.
2008 was like that was a good time to be an emo.
That was a emo. Did you know though the emo movement started in the 80s?
No, I did.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But I just feel like I really came into my emo moment.
Yeah,
in
I never had an emo moment.
2005.
So
maybe?
I'm gonna be biased. I'm so on the punk side.
Yeah.
And I don't really vibe with the emo stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the punks versus emo battle, even though I was like in high school in 2008 when emos were, I was always into punk and I always thought emos were kind of lame.
Well, you can catch me listening to the Get Up Kids once a year.
I'm not going to judge you for that.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Did you ever dress emo?
No.
Okay. See, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
The music I get.
Yeah.
The hair was like, and I'm like, shut up, Ray. You like mohawks. But I didn't get the emo hair thing. No. And
That's okay.
So there was a battle. So this all starts because there's this like MTV show and there's this host and he's sort of like mainstream, but he is punkish. And he like starts insulting emo people. And like, he's like
their looks?
Just like in general just like he's like, you guys don't know anything. Y'all aren't cool. Yeah. Like you're lame, like whatever. And it really sparked like this battle between the punks and emos in particular areas and like throughout different cities in Mexico. But where it really came to a head on this like one day was in Mexico City. So the punks start getting pissed off because they're like, you're co-opting our culture. And like, this is how I feel about vegans. Sometimes people look at me and they think I'm vegan and I'm like, no, I don't look vegan. Vegans try to look punk.
Yeah.
Like, let's get something straight
also
here.
Vegans can be punk.
They can be.
And punks can be vegans.
And punks can be vegans.
It's like a circle. It's like a square rectangle.
If the look should make you think anything, I look like I listen to The Clash. I don't look like I eat bamboo. I don't like. Let's just
eat bamboo.
I don't know what they eat. They don't eat steak, and I eat steak a lot. I actually like vegans. I'm not disrespecting them, but I get being like. This look like means something and there's a culture behind it and like you're just trying to look cool but you're not really a part of the culture. Okay. But like wear whatever band t-shirt you want. I'm not going to quiz you. I get annoyed when people assume I'm vegan. That's where
really
it comes
what the
from.
Crux of the issue
yeah,
is?
That's the issue. Is I'm like I eat more steak than you do. Yeah, that's where it gets me. Okay. That's where I feel like the defensiveness come in where I'm like, no, they're not punk, it's just because I don't want to be called a vegan. I don't like that assumption.
Okay. So
which is not because I judge them.
What was happening in Mexico City? The punks were like, you're co-opting our culture and our looks.
You don't even know what the root of this is. You don't know what the boots mean. You don't know the whatever means, which is like a little bit shut up. That's not very punk rock to gatekeep. And the emos are like...
I don't know what the boots mean. Do the boots have meaning?
No, they just mean the anarchy and the anti-political, the toughness. Like, okay. So their thing is, your whole thing is being depressed, and depression isn't an identity. Your whole thing is being emotional. Emotional is not an identity. Like, okay. Like punks are like, we stand for something. We're rising against fascism. We're rising against the government. Like, we look tough because we are tough. There's a movement, and they're like, you can't just dress the part and just your thing is crying. Like, that's lame. And that was like literally okay. Like, so the emos wanted to go in and kind of peacefully protest. It's Glorieta and Sergente is like this little like roundabout. And they want to go, and this is an area where like punks and emos both exist in these like shops and bars around here. And the emos want to go and like just be like, this is who we are. We're standing up for ourselves. Like, you can't bully us. We're proud. We're here. Obviously, the punks hear about it. The punks are like, be a patriot, kill an emo. That's their like that's their motto for that day, which is like fucked up. Don't do that. Yeah. That's also not punk rock. Exactly. Like, that's not punk rock at all.
A lot of their behavior so far has not been very.
It's not very punk at all. Which is like, I mean, I judge it a little bit, even though I'm team punk.
Like, so far, I'm on the emo side. I just want you to know this. It's not just because of the underdog. No.
I don't think these punks are acting punk. I just am like, the emo thing. Yeah. I just get not liking emo. Anyway. This isn't my best side. Listen, I'm a lot more open-minded than I'm coming across today.
Yeah, for sure you are.
I don't even hate vegans.
No.
I'm friends with so many vegans. So like 20 punks show up at first, and they're hurling insults, and they're doing kind of like punk things, the emos and the punks. They're like throwing glass bottles, they're hurling insults, they're doing kind of a lot of like what you see at punk shows in history, whatever. The punks start calling in reinforcements. Eventually, it becomes like a physical battle.
Okay.
There's like 100 emos, 100 punks. There's
Is this
100.
Sort of like a West Side Story brawl at this point?
A little bit, okay. Yeah. Like it's right.
Yeah.
There's 100 cops. First of all, they're outnumbered. Second of all, they can't really interfere because they can't tell the people apart. Because these like basic ass cops don't know the difference between. Like, imagine you don't know these cultures at all. Right. Like, they probably do all look the same. They're like neon crazy hair, and you don't
piercings
like,
and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Like, it takes somebody who's well educated in goth to know the Susie and the Banshees haircut from the Robert Smith haircut. Mm-hmm. Like, it's different, but not to a strange,
not to a random Mexico City police officer
in 2008.
Yeah.
And then like there's a natural kind of lull, and everyone's tired, and everyone's kind of licking their wounds. And then it starts up again.
The emos are all crying.
Oh, and the punks bring in the goths and metalheads. Like, the punks are calling in reinforcements.
Like, they need backup.
Yeah, well, they were outnumbered a little bit. And so the second brawl, they call in. So now, punks, goths, and metalheads on one side versus emos. Like, I'm definitely with the goths.
Yeah.
Like, goths are sad too, but they're still punk about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be sad, don't be emo, be goth. Like, that's where I really side with this.
Like, the world is beautiful and sad.
Yeah, and you can,
and emo's just like, the world is sad.
Yeah, the world is sad, and like and I don't like the whiny kind of, like, I don't know, I can't do it. I don't do the scene thing either.
Yeah,
it's just not for me though. Like, I get it. Like, I get if you were the right age.
That's what it is.
I think if you were the right age at the right time, it speaks to like a 14-year-old. Like, I could see that.
Or like a 20-year-old.
That's fine. Yeah, if you're a sad 20-year-old.
Yeah, but we all know that men develop at a different rate.
Like, the average male maturity is like 45 years old. Like, that's when you reach maturity as a man.
I was going to say, I'm definitely not there yet.
No, it's okay. No one's rushing you. Yeah. It takes time.
It does.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the most mature I'm going to get.
Hope not. We got plenty of ahead of us.
So anyway, now it starts back up. It's worse than ever. They're really going for it. Now they're throwing rocks. They're like really like hurting each other.
So this is becoming a riot.
This is like 100 people versus 100 people with 100 cops.
Have like riot gear.
Yeah, like they're trying to break it up. They're not succeeding at all. And
you know what? Fuck yeah, emos. Like, they're standing up for themselves.
That's the thing. The emos are kind of acting more punk than the punks. Yeah, the punks aren't being very punk by being like,
we're not going to stand down to your fascist bullshit.
Yeah, kind of. The emos, to be fair, the emos are in the right here.
Yeah.
They've been bullied, and they're standing up for themselves, and, like, that's more punk than gatekeeping and bullying, which is what the punks are doing. I get it. But the punks are used to being the ones who are bullied.
Yes.
And so they're getting, like, defensive.
Right.
Anyway, the emos are, I think, right. Unfortunately. They're just less cool, so I just want them to not be right. They probably wrote really sad songs about this day. So there's probably some bangers out there.
Probably.
So they're fighting. And then from yonder comes in this procession of, like, chanting, tambourine playing, singing Hare Krishna followers.
What?
Robed up, orange and white robes. They're, like, peacefully, like
Buddhists?
Like Buddhists,
yeah.
like doing their hymns.
Uh-huh.
And they just come in and they just, like, come into the crowd and they're trying to get people to, like, join them, and everybody's so thrown off.
Yeah.
That they like they didn't get anyone to join, but they kind of just, like, killed the mood. You're like, you can't fucking fight now.
Yeah.
And so everybody just kind of, like, drifted off. And
Just
even
paused.
like, by all accounts, even the cops were like, what do we do with this? Yeah. Like, everyone was just kind of like, and it was almost like comic relief.
Yeah.
That they just came in just doing their chants.
At least
and
we're not Buddhists. That's what they all said.
Before any major injuries, no deaths, nothing, before it got so out of hand that anyone was hospitalized, these, like, Hare Krishna followers came playing their tambourines and drums and
chanting
and prayed their way into the middle of this punk versus emo brawl, and they are the ones who resolved it, and everyone went on. And other cities there were fights, but this was the last time, like, around in that time in Mexico City, that there was a punks versus emo battle, and it was,
you know what I can't help but thinking as you tell me this story is, like, in the later years of the police cadet classes for the Mexico City police, like, was this something that they, like, drew out on the whiteboard? And they're like, and then in this situation of the Buddhists coming in, you can just kind of call it and head home.
Yeah. Or what do you do if you can't tell two sides apart?
Whoa.
We call in
the Buddhists.
And
everybody just gets, like,
procession, and then everyone's like, how are we supposed to fight? Like, you feel like an asshole probably. Like, if there's, like, a Buddhist chant and they're playing a tambourine and they're just calling for peace, and then you, like, kill somebody, like, you're gonna kind of feel like an asshole. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Good for them for diffusing the situation.
Yeah. And so that's the story of how the Buddhist peacefully ended the brutal fight between the punks and the emos in Mexico City on a Sunday afternoon, mind you.
Whoa.
Sunday afternoon.
Is that Mexico's version of Sunday Bloody Sunday?
Maybe.
It was about to be.
Should we write a song about this?
Probably.
And be like, I'm punk, but I'm standing up for the emos.
There's probably some great songs that aren't punk or emo about this.
Yeah. We're going to find them.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for our playlist. Follow us on Spotify. Yeah, so that's my story for today.
Thanks for telling your story.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
And if you didn't like this story or anything else we do, you can just go ahead and
get your own fucking podcast, for all I care.
Yeah, for all I care.
It's really fun.
Peace.